Fainting, a sudden loss of consciousness, is usually temporary and not a cause for serious concern. However, when it happens in crowded places, it can quickly escalate into a chaotic situation. Imagine a concert, a political rally, or a religious gathering where people are packed together. Suddenly, one person faints, then another and another. This domino effect is not just a coincidence, it's a fascinating phenomenon that highlights the powerful interplay between our minds and bodies, especially in group settings. The sight of someone collapsing can trigger a wave of anxiety and fear in a crowd. This can lead to hyperventilation, dizziness, and ultimately more fainting spells. It's like a ripple effect, spreading through the crowd and amplifying the initial event. But what makes us susceptible to this kind of collective behavior? The answer lies in understanding the science behind fainting and the psychology of crowds. In the following sections, we will delve deeper into this phenomenon, exploring its physiological and social dimensions. We'll also hear from experts who will provide their insights on how to manage such situations and ensure the safety of everyone involved. Fainting, medically known as syncope, occurs when the brain is momentarily deprived of sufficient oxygen. This can happen for various reasons, but the most common trigger is a sudden drop in blood pressure. This drop in blood pressure is often caused by a miscommunication in the autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system is like the body's autopilot, regulating essential functions like heart rate, breathing, and digestion without our conscious control. It has two branches: the sympathetic nervous system, responsible for the fight or flight response, and the parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes rest and digest. When we face stress or perceive danger, the sympathetic nervous system kicks in, increasing heart rate and blood pressure to prepare us to confront the threat or flee. Conversely, the parasympathetic nervous system slows down the heart rate and lowers blood pressure, promoting relaxation. Sometimes these systems can get their signals crossed, leading to a sudden drop in blood pressure and causing us to faint. In crowded, hot, or emotionally charged environments, our bodies can go into overdrive, triggering the sympathetic nervous system. If the parasympathetic system overcompensates, it can lead to a sudden drop in blood pressure, causing us to faint. This is why fainting is more common in crowded places where heat, stress, and anxiety levels are high. The question remains, why do people faint in groups? What is it about seeing someone else collapse that triggers a chain reaction? The answer lies in a fascinating interplay of physiological and psychological factors. On a physiological level, when we witness someone fainting, our mirror neurons fire. These are specialized brain cells that are activated both when we perform an action and when we observe someone else performing the same action. In essence, we internally mimic the faint, which can lead to a drop in our own blood pressure and trigger a real fainting episode.
On a psychological level, crowds can create a heightened sense of anxiety and suggestibility. When someone faints, it can trigger a mass panic response, particularly if the crowd is already tense or if there's a perceived threat. This fear can lead to hyperventilation, which ironically reduces the oxygen supply to the brain, making fainting more likely. Furthermore, the power of suggestion plays a significant role. Seeing others faint can plant the idea in our minds that we might faint as well. This is especially true in situations where there is already a sense of unease or anxiety. This anticipation can become a self-fulfilling prophecy, making us more susceptible to fainting.